Mr. President, there was a long discussion about how long you are going to stay. When are you going to organize election? How long will the transition last? Do you have an answer to that today? Or do you think it's not the priority?
For you, how long will Captain Ibrahim Traore be in charge before organizing elections to step down?
I was going to ask you a very important question in return before providing you with an answer.
I'm not here to answer questions.
That's all right. If today, in 6 months, we decided to abandon the people, you as a very objective man, aware of our situation, what would you say?
Now people say, if they're getting results, if they're making some progress, it's because they have the Russians with them. There was Wagner, which has been talked about. Now, we even have the Russians who are going to open their first military base with the Africa Corps. Mr. President, are the Russians helping you? And is their assistance better than that of the foreign armies that were present until now?
You know, as far as Burkina is concerned, for example, we have always had relations with Russia. And I can tell you 80% of the equipment that the Burkinabe had was...
Today, Mr. President, aren't you afraid for yourself?
Afraid?
We lived through the era of Thomas Sankara, who is somewhat your role model, since many people compare you to him because of your ideas, your way of behaving, your choices. We know how it ended.
Yes, you are right. And that's the question everyone is asking. And it's actually the phobia of the Burkina people. When they think about it, they're always afraid for me, for my safety. As for myself, I'm not afraid.
Which today is hosting a special guest, Captain Ibrahim Traore, Transitional President and Head of State of Burkina Faso. Good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning, Elaine.
Thank you for having us.
Today, with Russia, the relationship is primarily strategic. That, I think you understand much better than we do. And with Russia, there isn't that equipment we want to buy from them that they won't sell. They others impose restrictions on us.
They tell you, you can't buy this.
Of course.
But the Russians sell you everything you want.
Everything we want. Up to this very moment, as I speak to you, they are blocking us from getting licenses for certain aircraft. There are types of weapons they will never sell us.
And how do they explain these restrictions to you?
That's what I have to ask. Where is the friendship? What do they want? There are many countries, the Russians, the Chinese, the Turks, the Koreans, and so on. There are no restrictions. With Iran, whatever we want, they'll provide it for us. If we can pay, we pay. But with those states that were supposedly our friends, there are restrictions. There are even some who have gone so far as to tell us that they can't sell us anything that's lethal.
Oh, really? So you're at war,
but maybe we have the duty to pick up stones. Maybe even the stone is lethal. Anything that's lethal, they won't sell to us. That's their principle.
So today, with Russia, what are they getting in return? We all know that there is no such thing as friendship between states. It's always about interests. Everyone comes for their own interest. So today, some people are afraid that we've just traded one master for another. But I know you well enough to know that you're not about replacing one master with another. What exactly are you giving the Russians so that they're here? Are they taking minerals? How are you paying them? Are you selling off a portion of the territory? What's the actual deal?
If the deal was truly and genuinely to just swap one master for another, we would absolutely rather die. Because when we emphatically say homeland or death, it truly and profoundly means something significant.